What up, y'all? Sun's so bright, I can't even see the screen. There we go. I couldn't even see the screen for a moment because it's so damn bright out. I don't know if I'm feeling the car speeding out of the parking spot and going like 50 miles an hour in a 20 mile per hour zone, but okay, to each their own. First of all, let me give thanks for some of the blessings. It didn't take long. I mean, I shut my door of my crib, locked it, walked downstairs. I was outside for less than 30 seconds. And the cool breeze, it's like taking a bath or a shower and just like a wonderfulness, like amazingness. It just feels so fresh, so clean, so refreshing, and that's refreshing. I mean, I was kind of over it the other day when it was like December 1st and it was like 90 degrees. I mean, summer has its place. It's a different season, so I felt like it was a little bit of a tease to have the nice cool air as of recent, and then like of all days, like the first day of December is kind of significant and it was like 90 degrees out. I walked outside that day, but I wasn't feeling it as much. Alright, so let me give thanks for this fresh air. For one, because, I don't know, I sought out to do like a 2-mile walk, probably at about, what are we walking, for 2 minutes? So I got plenty to go, but with this kind of weather, I might make it a 4-mile walk. So that's one thing. And a little extra working won't hurt me. Just get me closer to my goals. So let me give thanks to that. Now on some other stuff. I've been philosophizing for a long time about, like, don't look back. Which could imply, like, you know, don't dig back in the past and move forward towards the future. How can you move forward if you're always looking back? So it's kind of a sticking point for me. The past. Hang on a sec. How you doing? Good, good. Nice dog and lady walking her dog. Actually looks very familiar. Path of least resistance, though. She probably looks familiar because she's one of my neighbors. So I'm going to trash the paranoia. Paranoid Jay can go to sleep for a little bit. We're on some positivity today. And so this is what I want to get to. Like, the past can like entail a lot of things. It could be like activities and things, how you acted in the past, the people, places, and things that were in those moments in the past. And I guess what I'm realizing is, like, some things that were in your past, if those were like good things, there's no reason to not move forward towards the future with those things. And if there were people or places and things that were in your past, but say like someone was maybe not as big of a part in those chapters, like maybe they were an acquaintance. You knew them, you knew of them, you respected them, but y'all maybe weren't as tight or like as meshed in each other's like circles. You know, if those were like good people that you admire and respect, the past could be significant in the sense that where some people were your friends and now they're less of your new chapters. Some people that didn't have as big a part in your life, maybe they were an acquaintance, you recognize how good they are and all they represent. They very possibly could, an acquaintance of the past could be a really good friend in the future, or as you move forward towards the future or wherever you're going. And then also too, friendships take different roles. Some people are great friends and it's a relationship that happens from afar, but they still have a lot to offer. So I'm not just thankful for the blessings of the cool, fresh air, things feeling a little less toxic today. I mean, toxic could have to do with your head, like all the fucked up shit going on in your head. Toxic could have to do with the weather, the environment. So again, things feel real fresh and far from toxic today. Just the feel of things at this moment, just how it feels outside. It feels good to be out, get out of the house. And then I'm thankful for people. And certain people, without name dropping, have really opened my eyes and given me direction. It may have happened inadvertently. It may have been somewhat conscious. They may have sensed I was in a rut. But that I'm kind of on the right track and just need a little guidance to fight out of it. So for that type of inspiration and motivation, God bless you to those people. And I'm so thankful for those blessings. So it's not just the great weather outside. I'm thankful for people. And part of the rut I've been in has been kind of losing faith in people, losing faith in mankind, So to have a more positive perspective today, when yesterday I might have been back in that rut, even deeper than the previous days. So to flip it back like this, I'm thankful for that too. Oddly enough, I'm walking in circles here. I got to a certain point, I turned around, walked the same path, and then went right back again. So if the backdrop looks kind of familiar, Jay, you're walking, but you're not really going anywhere, it's true and it's false. Perhaps I should stretch my parameters and radius here if I'm going to do the distance that I'm suggesting I'm going to do on this walk. Maybe a back and forth or walking in circles is the metaphor of that. Is you're doing a lot of nothing. You're doing a lot of this and that and getting nowhere. So if I want to feel like I'm getting somewhere, maybe metaphorically speaking and the analogy, maybe I should actually put my money where my mouth is, and actually for my walk, just due to the figurative significance of what it could mean as different things in your life parallel each other. If I want to put in some work and really get somewhere in my life and make some strides and not be standing in the same place and not walking in circles and getting nowhere, maybe on this walk, rather than how I began it. I just got distracted because I'm doing obviously some motivational speaking and I'm more focused on what I was talking to y'all about, that I didn't really wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was going back and forth and walking in circles. But since I just noticed that that's what I did, and everything I'm speaking to and on points to getting somewhere rather than walking in circles, I'm going to stretch this walk out I mean, don't expect me to get on Mitchell Hammock and put myself on display. I might do that next week. We can call it the Jason Lipp 5K. And I will intentionally put myself on Mitchell Hammock Road, and everyone in Oviedo can see me on some, hey, look at me, guys, Jason Lipp here. That would actually be kind of funny. I just might do that. For today, when I say I'm going to stretch out the path of the walk, I'm going to now do the opposite of what I just started doing. I'm not going to go back and forth and in circles. So I've now already, you can't really see it, can you? You're just looking at me. But I have now turned the corner. That's a metaphor in itself. I'm still in my neighborhood, but I'm in a different block now within my neighborhood rather than walking the same row. Just hang on a sec. So, on some other tangents, I'm doing this walk, at least 2 miles. If I can stretch it to 4 miles, which would take about what? So 3 miles is about 60 minutes at this pace. I'm doing about 3.0 pace. So if I do a 4th mile, that's 80 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. I don't even have that much charge on my phone. And these live feeds eat the battery of the phone, so. Let's talk about my day. I'm just going to put the map of my day out there. That's very much against my character to advertise, hey, I'm out walking now, hey, I'm taking a shit, hey, I'm wiping my ass. Like, I do micromanage my life in the detail. I'm very detail oriented, but I don't. Hey, listen, I make a muck on Facebook, right? I mean, I do some silly shit, but I never use Facebook as like a Twitter, like, hey, for the most part. Well, actually, the other day I did. I showed that I was at Sushi Pop. For the most part, okay? Yeah, for the most part, I don't give my locations and what I'm doing or what I've done at the moments that I'm doing it, because that's a breach of my privacy. But out of character, I posted a to-do list on Facebook today. And I think consciously and subconsciously, the reason why I did that, and that in itself, the nature of that is so out of character for me. I forced myself to do something that I don't really believe in, because I want to change my world. So how do you change your world? You got to change the things that you do. So I think it gives out a message that, hey, in a way, I'm reaching out to you guys. You know, rather than paranoid Jay that would, lock himself up and get cabin fever from sitting in the house all day, with like surveillance cameras to somehow study those while, you're already in the house doing your own surveillance, and then you're doing some surveillance on shit you can see with your own eyes. Just like a crazy cooped up recluse, just like a guy hidden away. I do the opposite and make myself accessible. So how does one accomplish that in their world? Well, for one, you got to give out a certain vibe. You got to have radiate some good heart, loving energy. And maybe something as stupid as a to-do list that really all it entailed was, hey, I'm going on a morning walk. I'm going to have lunch with my mom. other unimportant and really actually invasive details, like taking my afternoon meds, which is no one's business. I put that on the list. Kind of like an exaggerated stretch, not really a to-do list. I mean, here's the deal. My world as it is, I can put like a really dope, deep, intricate quote about a philosophy on life. And as I reflect on my life, it appears like no one really gives a fuck. What do I base that on? You know, as silly as it sounds, a post getting no likes or comments. Like crickets, ghosts. So, okay. So, I imagine if that's the response from my world to something that is actually decent, I imagine they're probably going to be less of a response to some stupid list of like what's my to-do list that includes when I'm taking my afternoon meds and this and that. So I understand all that. I took that into consideration when doing it. A point of a list like that is like I'm saying here, listen guys, I'm reaching out. Rather than be a recluse, hide myself away like a skeleton in a closet, I'm going to make myself accessible to you guys, even to the point where it invades my privacy. Even to the point where it invades my privacy and goes against actually some of my beliefs about people's privacy and how not every moment of your life should be showcased and on display. And often I feel like the village idiot anyway, like, haha, look at that guy, there goes Jason Lipp again, what a clown, you know? So, well, like I do intuit that could possibly be a synopsis of Jason Lipp and first impressions I've made on people. Okay, so you know, it's a thin line we walk in this balancing act of life and how to interact in our relationships. So that's what that's about. I'm out blogging. You can see I'm out of my house. I'm inviting you into my world of what is my present moment of life. 36 years of my life has now come to a walk around my neighborhood. That's what I'm doing at this very moment. I'm giving you a window into that. So similar to the list, the to-do list, which in one perspective is really a nonsensical list, has no really rhyme or reason or purpose other than to send the subliminal message like, hey guys, rather than be a skeleton in a closet, I'm going to make myself accessible now. And I'm sending the same message by giving you a window into my life via a live Facebook feed. And honestly, I must be less toxic today. I must be in like a healthier state of mind, state of heart, that I can kind of put my money where my mouth is and take action on things like that in my life. Like kind of flip the script on how I've been living. Like the approach, forget about what I'm actually doing, but the approach and the mindset to how I've been doing life. I'm flipping the script almost completely. In fact, I may have friends, close friends, ask me like, Jay, you change your cell phone number every month. You must have had 70 new numbers and now we don't get you. Now all of a sudden you're doing live feeds every day, 5 times a day. That makes no sense to what you were doing and establishing. Well, hey, different strokes for different folks, different methods for different times in your life, you know. It's come a time when things get old or tired, and if your one way is not working and you realize that as you take inventory of your life, so what do? It's insanity to try the same thing twice and expect different results. So you do something different if you want different results. It's simple. Very simple. Hi. Morning. And that's that. I mean, here, a year ago, I would have been like self-conscious that the neighbor that just walked by gets a snippet of what I'm talking about. Like, why should they be able to enter my train of thought, which is my privacy? But I don't care. I feel like I'm offering you guys on Facebook something good if she happened to hear something. So Who knows? That lady might have even had one kind of thought regarding me. Maybe the weird guy that walks around the block and looks crazy. Maybe she heard a snippet of that and she's like, this guy actually talking, heard him for 2 seconds and he's making a lot of sense. So, yeah. The one plan I didn't stick to is I did end up walking in circles anyway. I guess if you're going to stay in a neighborhood that's only so big, you're going to end up walking the same lap over and over again at some point. Especially if you do it for 2 to 4 miles. Hey, I'm thankful for losing weight. In January of 2012, and this is just to get on some more positivity, thankfulness, you know, the things I'm thankful for in my world. Just as a blueprint of someone being positive energy, giving thanks. We just rounded the corner on Thanksgiving. So I want to talk about, rather than complain about things and be negative and send off that vibe. I mean, I'm just being candid here. I'm not reading off a script. I'm just walking and talking as I'm thinking somewhat. But I don't really have a blueprint of what I wanted to tell you except to just make it positive today. Keep that going. I'm thankful for the weight loss, that I have lost those pounds and sustained it. Since January of 2012, I really put my mind to this, and in January 2012, I was 342 pounds. Today, I was actually lighter a week ago, but I'm not going to complain about that. I'm still going to complain about what have I sustained, what accomplishments have I sustained. So, 283.2 pounds from 342. Let's do the math. That's 42 and 17 is what? At 53. About 60 pounds, right? 59 pounds or 60 pounds. So, hey, that's a lot of weight. I'm thankful for it. That's 4.5 years and I kept that weight off. Even after gaining it back a couple times, got it back down. At this moment today, I can say I'm 283. So I've sustained that weight loss. And here's the thing. Like, imagine wearing a backpack or a knapsack that has a 60-pound weight in it. That's really what we're saying, right? I was carrying around 60 more pounds. And what a strain that was on my life, just physically. So, a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, so to speak. The world is lighter. In that context, it's brighter. Hey guys, the sun's out. It's a nice blue sky with some sunlight. It's heating up a little since I started my walk, but it's still cool out. Nice little breeze. Life is good, right? You can argue something else, but what's really the point in that, except to just use it as a model to seek change, enact change, so that you're not complaining. All right, so don't ignore the bad or the negative, but put the good in the front, in the forefront, in front of you. Be thankful for it. Accept the good. Recognize the bad. You don't have to accept it, though, as yours. You can use it, accept it in the sense that you use it to make it better. And you're still in your heart. Still a lot of love, a lot of thankfulness. Keeping it good, keeping it moving, right? Regrets set you back, move you back, get you stuck. Life is good. No, really. Like, honestly, if you don't believe it, say it to yourself a couple times. Life is good. Fake it till you make it. The more you say it, actually, can probably convince yourself of it, and it's not a lie. Because if you can get there, even a little bit, by saying it, you got to start somewhere. So it's like a thankfulness meditation. It's a kind of, I don't want to use the word brainwash because that has like a negative connotation, but kind of like trick yourself into believing it, and then before you know it, it becomes an actuality, a belief, and that becomes your truth. So listen, when life was shitty for me, you know what helped me to move forward and make it better? Was kind of fake it till you make it sometimes. And one of the best ways to do that is like a thankfulness meditation, kind of like what this motivational blog intends in a way. Is like, well, if you can start naming off all the things that are good, it kind of overshadows the bad. And in the light, in the presence of darkness, is going to trump the darkness. Darkness can't exist as much in the presence of light because the light illuminates it. Darkness doesn't have the same power that light has. That's why light trumps dark. So you do Tank Lip, Jason Lip, and thank you for listening and taking the time to consider the things I'm saying, and joining me through the window to my world right now. And I don't know, if you took some time to listen, I'm flattered. I appreciate it. All right, have a great day, y'all. Love.